And I wanted to just touch on 3 points as you consider this issue. One is I wanted to provide a reminder and a clarification of what we are negotiating with respect to the Waterfront Ballpark District, talk a little bit about the public outreach process, and then explain some of staff's concern about the proposed ballot measure. So first, Councilmember Kalb is right. We don't have a deal yet to vote on. But it is important to restate that it was this council's clear direction for staff to negotiate a deal that is within the framework approved by the council on July 2021. And that framework requires that the deal not impact the general fund or our current Oakland taxpayers, and that it is beneficial to the city. And that is really the North Star that we are following. And although we're still negotiating, the main deal points remain. And those include, as Councilmember Fife said, that the stadium would be 100% privately financed by the Oakland A's. All the residential and commercial development in the district would be 100% privately financed by the A's. The deal would tax the A's as a future owner of the project site and leverage those A's tax dollars to fund new public infrastructure and affordable housing, both on the project site as well as in the 4 impacted districts surrounding it, Jack London, downtown, West Oakland, and Chinatown, and build 18 acres of new public parks on the Oakland waterfront. And with respect to offsite infrastructure, most of which will implement existing city plans, policies, and the City Council's approved capital improvement program, it would be funded by federal, state, and regional grants, which of course is the normal way the city obtains money for such transportation infrastructure. Second, I do want to remind everyone of the extensive public participation that has been a hallmark of this project. There have been many opportunities for public participation already and more to come. Thousands of Oaklanders have already expressed their opinions through public comment, public information workshops, extensive engagement to develop community benefits recommendations, and more. And in fact, since 2019, more than 100 meetings have been held, including over a dozen public meetings at the City Council, the Port, Alameda County Board of Supervisors, Bay Conservation Development Commission, as some examples. And it's not over yet. Going forward, before any deal at the former Howard Terminal site can be approved, there will be numerous additional opportunities for public comment and input. Once the deal is final with staff, the project will go in front of the Planning Commission, will hold a hearing at the CED, and it will proceed to 2 hearings at the City Council. And importantly, as many of you have mentioned, once we have the final deal, we'll be bringing a full economic analysis of the deal to CED, just like we did with the term sheet in the summer of 2021. And that analysis is easily available on the city's website and will be thoroughly updated to reflect the final deal terms and to provide our decision makers and the public with full and transparent information, just like we did in July of 2021. Then even after the City Council, the public process isn't done. The project must be approved by the Port, the Bay Conservation Development Commission, the Department of Toxic Substances Control, the State Lands Commission. And each of these processes are open and transparent, providing opportunities for the public to provide decision makers with their advice and perspective. So finally, in addition to our concern that this measure would interfere with what the council has directed us to do with respect to this particular project, staff is concerned with the following issues presented by the ballot measure. One, it's vague. It asks our residents whether they agree with using, quote, public funding to fund infrastructure, which is technically the way government funds almost all public infrastructure. Pursuing grants and utilizing tax increment financing are essential economic development tools, without which we wouldn't have been able to create treasured community assets like restoring the Fox Theater, the Rotunda, Children's Hospital Research Institute, or develop projects like Uptown, MacArthur BART, Coliseum BART Station, and Fruitvale BART Station projects. And it is advisory, which means it's non-binding and therefore does amount to what we would consider a fairly expensive survey that would create delay and doubt for the project, which is still under negotiation, meaning, again, there's not yet a project to vote on or agree or disagree with. So in a nutshell, staff is concerned that the proposed measure would undermine what this council voted for and directed us to do. And with that, turn it back.